So we'll do a quick review here of the adjective clauses. And this handout from ESL Library just starts out with the definition of a phrase and a clause. So a phrase is just a group of words. A clause is a group of words, but it has a subject and a verb. And then within clauses, because they have a subject and a verb, some of them are dependent clauses, and that means they can stand alone. They're essentially a sentence. An independent clause needs something else to connect to, so that it can stand. And so an example of a dependent clause might be something like, when he was a child. Well, he is the subject, was is the verb, so it's a clause because it has a subject and a verb. But when he was a child, that's a dependent clause because it cannot stand alone. He lived in Guatemala. That's an independent clause. It has a subject and a verb, and it stands alone because it's a complete thought. It's a complete idea. So when he was a child, that's a dependent clause, and that functions, or it acts like an adverb. It tells when something happened. Adverbs tell when or why or how many or how much or to some degree of something, to what degree. Noun clauses are just that. They have a subject and a verb, but they function like a noun. And really, the clauses that I wanted to look at today are the adjective clauses. So in beginning ESL levels, when we talk about adjectives, usually it's one word, like the blue shirt. Shirt is the noun, blue is the adjective. But as language develops and you become a little more complex in your use of English, then you can use a group of words with a subject and a verb, and that group of words will act like an adjective. And that's where we get the idea of adjective clauses. Again, adjective clauses can be identifying or non-identifying. They can come at the beginning of they can come after a subject, they can come after a verb, and some of them can come after even a preposition. And if you remember from early English language lessons, prepositions come before nouns, right? So at the park. And so here, this adjective clauses can become the object of that preposition. So here we see one in this example right here. It says Johnny Depp, who is a Hollywood star, is most famous for Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay, and here, this adjective clause is describing the subject Johnny Depp. Who is Johnny Depp? He is a Hollywood star. So Johnny Depp, who is a Hollywood star. The core sentence is Johnny Depp is most famous for Pirates of the Caribbean. In this sentence, I called Joe Montana. The subject is I, the verb is called, and the object of the verb, who did you call? Joe Montana. And now I have an adjective clause, who used to be a football player. And that adjective clause is describing the object of the verb, Joe Montana. So it comes after the verb. It's an object of the verb. In this sentence, I had a dream. The subject is I. Had is the verb. A dream is the object of the verb. And more specifically, a dream of my brother walking. Where was he walking? In front of the house. What house? The house where I used to live. And so here's the preposition of, and here's the house. Adjectives are always used to describe nouns. And so which house? The house where I used to live. And so here we see that this adjective clause is the object of a preposition. And here's the preposition of the house where I used to live.